ask me why I don't eat meat or other animal products, I say because they're unhealthy and they are a product of a violent and inhumane industry. Casey Affleck. I myself agree with this statement. I have, for the last 7 years, been a vegetarian and am currently working to transition into veganism. Today, I hope to look at the self-centered stereotype that people associate with vegans and vegetarians and the I am greater than they are act that typically is associated with it. Today I'm going to speak on the benefits of a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle, or simply a life with less meat or animal products involved. I'm going to be taking a look at 1, the horrors of the animal industry and the different types of things that are wrong with it, and 2, prevention and alternatives that can be used instead of animal products. So to start, what is the meat industry or the animal product industry? The first thing that comes to my mind and many others is that it is dirty. Animals are crammed in small cages, often without adequate space or ventilation, and according to openphilanthropy.org, 291 million egg-laying hens in the US. Of those, roughly 95% are raised in battery cages. These restrict movement and prevent hens from engaging in natural behaviors. Battery cages are widely used in the animal industry, not only for hens but for different small animals. These cages constrict movement and keep animals from having any room to move about or do anything that they naturally would in an open environment. And going along with the crammed spaces and cages, there's often waste from animals everywhere. Ammonia fumes rise to dangerous, uncomfortable levels due to high concentrations of waste, according to the ASPCA. These levels often indicate health hazards for the animals and the workers in the environment. So this means that the meat or the animal product that you are getting is never really clean. The waste from the animals is constantly stuck in their feathers and their fur and things like that, and is constantly attached to the animal. They are forced to live in it, which means that the product you are getting from them, the eggs, the milk, is also being contaminated at some point with these. Along with that, animals are being raised for the slaughter. Broiler chickens are the type of chicken that is used for meat consumption. These chickens are raised in sheds with nearly 20,000 plus other chickens along beside them in a cramped, confined space. These chickens come with health hazards because they are often injected with artificial growth hormones to make them grow bigger and faster. They also tend to have respiratory issues from the dirty floors that they live on. And like the animals raised in battery cages, they live in their own waste. So there's a lot of ammonia fumes and things like that also going on. The poor ventilation and the ammonia, according to the ASPCA, causes a lot of respiratory issues for these animals. As for beef cattle, they are typically raised in outdoor fields until they are considered big enough to be transferred into a feedlot. Once transferred into feedlots, there's typically no shelter. They're left in dirty, muddy conditions without ways to clean off. There's often no pasture for them to roam. They also endure a lot of heat stress, as well as respiratory issues from the dirt and dust that they are forced to inhale. Typically, they are packed with hundreds of other cows, all in the same lot, all dealing with the same issues and passing around different sicknesses. To move on, how are these harming us as human beings? Typically, those who follow a vegan or vegetarian diet have lower health risks than those who are part of a carnivorous diet. Fewer calories and less fat are often found in the vegan or vegetarian diet, and those who follow it often have fewer weight problems and lower risk of heart disease, according to the Mayo Clinic. Those who eat red meat are at an increased risk for heart disease, stroke, or diabetes as well, according to the Mayo Clinic. There's also links to cancer within animal product consumptions, specifically processed meat. Processed meat is rich in fat, protein, and heme iron, which can promote tumor ingrowth through stimulating the endogenous formation of carcinogenic nitroso compounds, according to the WCRF in their article, Meat, Fish, and Dairy Products and the Risk of Cancer. This meaning that processed meats stimulate the growth of carcinogenic compounds in your body, and this can make them, make those who eat them more prone to different types of cancers. The World Health Organization has classified processed meats, including ham, salami, bacon, and frankfurts, as a Group 1 carcinogen, which means that there is a strong evidence that processed meats can cause cancer, according to the Cancer Council's article, Meat and Cancer. Meaning that all of these have been grouped all into one category and that they have been proven to increase the risk of cancers. To take a look at the alternatives that you can use instead of meat and to hopefully implement some more of these into your diet instead of animal products and meat products. There is meat and animal product replacements. I myself use a lot of these in my day-to-day life. So to start, there's Smart Life. Smart Life is a brand of meatless animal product replacements. They do meats such as hot dogs, corn dogs, sausage, chicken, pork, and beef replacements. And there's also Morningstar, who does the same with hot dogs, corn dogs, sausage, chicken, pork replacements as well. There's also an egg replacer. There's different brands that you can buy. You can buy powdered egg replacer, you can buy liquid egg replacer, and it does all the same things that a typical egg would do in a recipe or on its own. There's also different kinds of alternative milks instead of cow milk or goat milk or animal milk in general. There is soy milk, which is commonly used for those with a lactose allergy in general. There's almond milk, cashew milk, and then there's also pea and oat milk for those who have allergies to nuts and things of that nature. As for plant-based proteins, some of them are often overlooked. There's almonds, chickpeas, quinoa, peanut butter, simple things that you would eat in your day-to-day diet that you wouldn't think of, just simply increasing the amount that you take to get those proteins in your diet. There's also tofu and other meat alternatives. There's different kinds of tofu. I believe there's 3 or 4 different versions that you can buy and use in different recipes. As for the benefits that this can have on your body, protein is essential. The human body needs protein to function, as well as there being 20 total proteins. So the body organically makes 11 of those proteins. So inside of you at all times, your body is making these proteins for them to establish. As for the remaining, these need to come from your food that you are eating in your diet, according to naturespath.com. There's different plants that you can get these proteins from instead of using animal products. Plants such as quinoa, buckwheat, hemp, and soy can all be implemented into the diet to be used instead of an animal protein. Meatless substitutes are always made with these different kinds of plants. Most commonly in these Smart Life, Gardein, and Morningstar brands, they tend to use a lot of soy product instead of meat to give you that protein. So today I've looked at the different things that are affecting the animal product industry and affecting us as humans who ingest them. I've looked at the horrors of the animal industry, the negative effects that it can have on you and your life, and different alternatives that you can use to substitute out these in your day-to-day life. So to close, I would like to ask you, would you eat your pet? And if the answer is no, because that's different, that's not the same thing, it's a different animal, I want you to ask yourself why and what makes that different. Why is that animal's life more valuable than the cat in your living room? I would also like you to stop and think about how much you ingest as a human being and how many animals that is harming, or how many animals that is taking a life away from. So to leave you with some food for thought, thank you.